Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today we have another episode for Living World of Darkness for the Changeling episode, or venue. In this episode, we see Marshal Romulus in the training area of Crageny, um, basically trying to do everything he can to keep his mind off of the meeting with Duchess Meghan and Valencia, and the verdict of the question that he posed the matriarch of House Gwydion in the Kingdom of Apples. He's not really paying attention to anybody else that's there. He's just trying to get rid of internal frustrations through external activities.
Hilarious. Would be assuming the training area is like relatively big. He's taking Xander through, you know, a few basic warm up exercises. Teaching him the very basic box step, how to hold the sword properly, how to swing it properly, maintaining a balance, and doing it all in quick succession before we start adding flair and finesse to it. It's been kind of the basics for the past few days. Just making sure that he has the basics down before we start adding more complexity to it. True to
Okay.
his word, Valerius is spreading right along with him and doing everything while he's doing it.
Can we see Richard from where we're at?
Probably.
Okay. Well, Xander be just slightly distracted because he's never seen Richard use his tattoos to do anything for him.
Valerius is going to whap him in the head with like the blunt end of his sword. Pay attention.
I know, but this is cool.
That's a killer. Sorry.
You're going to see like training dummies get replaced almost as quickly as Richard takes them down.
That's got to be expensive.
It is expensive, but you know what? I don't handle the books anymore, and it's like not my problem. I just kind of sit there and think it was. It kind of gets taken care of. So, as he kind of walks up beside Richard and kind of taps him on the shoulder, you seem a little preoccupied.
He's not even going to register you're there until like he slashes off this thing's head, whips around, and there are claws that just stop right by your ear before he realizes what he almost did. And they shrink back, and he visibly shrinks into himself.
Ay, 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 ay. What am I going to do with you?
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. You almost took my head off for saying hello.
Sorry. I'm a little on edge.
Why?
Valencia is meeting with Duchess Meghan today
Why?
because I asked for Duchess Meghan's blessing to propose to her.
Why?
Thank you. That was my next question.
No, yeah, that's Xander's question too. Like, why?
Because certain events have happened recently that have caused me to come to a realization that even though we're in this life that we have more time than most. It's still short.
Amen.
Well, I don't think we should be having this conversation here. So, I have my own 2 cents. But like always, you'll do what it is you do. He just looks at you.
What's your 2 cents?
Can't tell you here. I'm trying to like keep your business between people who actually give a shit about you.
Fair enough. You see him walk over to a bench, grab a bottle of water and a towel. Let's go then.
He throws a towel at Xander. You coming?
Oh, of course.
Right. Blair's takes you to another spot, and a spot in Pergeny that he likes to hang out. A little off to the side and kind of little deserted, but it's secluded in enough where they won't be bothered. So, when did this come about? I knew that you were dating Valencia, but
The boy.
so I'm not even asking like why, but when did this happen?
When did what happen? When I made this decision or how I came to the decision?
How it came to be? Because I knew that you were quite taken by her. I didn't think it got this far yet.
The boy.
The what?
The bargain, childly.
Ah. Well, my 2 cents. You should finish your saying before you make any type of obligations. That's just my opinion.
I've already been forced to make obligations.
Well,
I make an obligation that I want to make.
because you understand some things about politics, but by and large you're ignorant to a lot of it.
What does politics have to do with this?
Everything.
How?
Xander is like, explain this.
What do you think will happen if you marry her now? And please, I say this with little arrogance. I don't care who you fuck or who you with or who you're going to marry. I wish you nothing but the best. However, we live in a society that is almost mandated for us to take hardline rules against things. The way it is now. Valencia is the same changeling part of the Red Branch Knights. You are the current marshal. You've yet to finish your saying. You've yet to have a formal anything, to be fair.
Formal anything?
In terms to your house in general. The only thing that you basically that's been really formalized is your appointment as marshal. They will use this against you. They will say that Valencia is indeed robbing the cradle.
How? I'm 20 years old.
And your point?
I'm sorry, but I need to interject here. You said a lot of really great things there just now, Val.
Yeah.
Look at all the things that he's accomplished.
He did. I'm not taking anything
No,
from
no,
that.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. He's accomplished a lot for not having been feigning or whatever you want to call it. He's accomplished a lot,
Okay. He's
and
gifted.
these are things that were put upon him to do, and he does them admirably. And
Okay.
for that, you have my utmost respect, Richard
All
Romulus.
right. We are in a,
However, but when it comes to Valencia, that's something that you want to do. That's something that you want to take upon yourself because you love her. I say you should do it. You
and
speak up.
go ahead.
You worry about angering people. You know what? We do that every day. The thing is, we are the future here. Whether they want to believe it or not, they're looking upon you to do all these great things. Yet they're saying that you're not responsible enough to marry someone.
We're not saying he is not
No, that's exactly what's being
responsible.
said.
This is what you're assuming from what I said.
Then what are you saying?
Yes.
What I am saying is that this is a very political thing. I trust that you want your words to still have weight. Am I right in saying so?
Yes.
You want people to take you seriously. Am I right in saying so?
Yes.
So if you do this, people will say that I'll be blunt about it. They will say that you are being used. You are less capable to do the task that you're dreaming of sets you out to do.
How? How am I less capable? How would it make me less capable to do my job?
You act like you're trying. Can I finish? You act like you're trying to convince me. I am already on your side. I would like for you to get married and have lots of babies. Do it.
It's not
Enjoy it.
even.
Regulate.
It's not even
Oh,
that. It's just tired. I'm tired of
Okay.
sneaking around. I'm
Romulus.
tired of.
Romulus. Do you love Valencia?
it's at the end of the day, it's not about.
No, 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 no. At the beginning of the day, this is the most important question. Do you love her? Do you love her enough to put all that you have accomplished so far aside and put her first?
Yes.
Then you'll wait.
Then do it.
Then
No, then you'll do it.
no. Then you'll wait. Why are you rushing?
Then you.
Why? Give me a reason why he should rush. Why this should happen right now.
No, no. The thing is, you may think he's rushing, but if they both agree that this is what they want to
You're
do,
literally making something out of nothing. I am telling him to
how?
wait 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is. Let him finish his training. There's no harm in that. Let him see what Whittian really is about, besides the fluff that's going on around him. Let him see things, experience things. In your 6 months of being here, you have not experienced all the dreaming has to show you.
No. You're right. I've only.
Yeah, it's showing you some really awesome things now, isn't it?
Cut the sarcasm.
I'm
Seriously.
sorry, but I cannot have nothing but contempt for this at this moment.
He's.
I don't care if you have consent for it or
Like,
not.
is there like a bench?
Sure, there's a bench.
He's gonna sit down. I've. You're right. You know, I've only. I've only experienced loss. I've only experienced abandonment. I've only experienced responsibility that I never thought I could even lift. And yet I have to walk around it with it every single day.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When you took your Fiora, was it explicit? Did they give you a time limit?
No.
What would, what did they tell you? That you would be marshal? Was that pretty much the end of it? Don't go into details, just like the nitty gritty.
They told me that I was meant to be Marshall.
You were meant to be Marshall, right? Do you know how time works in the dreaming? Do you?
It can be as quick, a year can be as quick as a second or as slow as a millennia.
Wrong. That's what I mean. Time in the dreaming completely stops, completely and utterly. You are a stagnant fixture in time. This is why time cannot affect she the way it would affect most others. We have a very intricate relationship with it. So what I'm saying, what do you know about fate? Since you're telling me that you've taken on enough, and apparently Xander's of that opinion too, and you can make these decisions, I'm giving you real world questions. How does that work?
How does fate work?
How does fate work?
I don't know.
Would you like me to tell you?
Sure.
The
See,
way fate,
you have all the answers.
I don't have all the answer, but I've been alive long enough where I know something about something. I'm no by any stretch of the imagination a master of it, or completely have an intrinsic knowledge of this, the dreaming as it is. But I can say I know enough to keep others alive in myself.
Well,
Fate works is that the dawn, our fate, is something that is very loosely connected, meaning that think of it as a rough line, a rough direction, kind of like something drawn in the sand. If you keep going in this direction, this is what will happen. However, this is the important part. It is completely based off of the decisions that you make, that you want to do, so you can influence your fate. So, if a seer comes to you and says that I see in the future that this will happen to you, based on your current direction and what you've done in the past up until this very point that you made the prophecy, this is true. Can you change that course? Most definitely. All of this to say, if the dreaming said that you would take on this responsibility, nowhere in that description did it say that it had to happen right now.
but there wasn't a Marshall. There was no one else.
I understand that. I'm not chastising your decision. I'm just saying you saw it one way, and I'm giving you other directions where that situation could have gone.
Actually, I think I quite understand what you're saying at this point, believe it or not. Once you were told that you were going to be Marshall, you took the steps in that direction to become Marshall. But it never meant that you were meant to be Marshall now.
Exactly.
I get that.
What could have helped Maddox, I believe his name is, the former Marshal? There's probably a wealth of knowledge you could have gained from him working with him. If the Jimmy ordained that this was going to be fate, what lessons could you have learned? I'm sure you faced trials and tribulations of things I don't even know about.
He's still here. I can still learn from him.
But then again, look at it this way. You're the marshal, and you already have the position. If you go to somebody that already had the position, it could be seen as a form of weakness. That you can't actually handle the position. However, if you did it the other way, and did it that way, then maybe you could have, softened it a bit, took it in stride. All I'm saying is I'm completely 100% overjoyed that your love for Valencia has gotten to this point. Couldn't be happier. However, I am saying for the future that you are creating, both of you, that you have to be more methodical about the decisions that you make. Because guess what? They no longer affect you, they affect her. And vice versa.
Agreed.
I wish somebody actually told me that the first time I got married.
You were married before?
Yes, there was a before. But that's the past. Anyway,
At the end of the day, Richard, this is your decision to make. You and Valencia. Weigh your options.
think about what you're doing. Another thing you might want to consider. Um, do you have your own freehold yet?
No.
Okay, that might be a good first step. Um, I know they give you a fair bit of jobs for you working as the marshal, but in order to live in a way that is conducive to your station and what you're doing, furthermore, in your new appointments, you should probably take that into consideration.
Octavia didn't have a freehold.
Say who?
Octavia.
You and Octavia are different people. I'm just honestly, all I'm trying to do is do right by you.
I have very few options for gaining a freehold. I could find a out of character. I could find a sleeping balefire. It can be gifted to me. I can take one.
If I was gifted to you,
Hmm?
here's the thing about that. And here's the thing about you that I don't think you kind of get. I could very well give it to you and give it to you. I very well could do that. However,
But if you give it to me, then people will see it as just you favoring me in it.
what did I tell you when you took this position as marshal? You have to be above dispute. People have to look at you as a shining fucking example.
Damn it.
If this is not what you want, cool. We can talk about another route you can take. This is not the end all be all. You still have other options. If being the marshal is not what you want, but I can tell by the glare you're giving me that this is something that you want.
I want it, and yet when it was first offered to me, I thought I had to do it now. I didn't know there was another option.
Can another small piece of advice. When I answer people, how do I answer them? Are my answers often rash and impulsive?
No, often thought out and indirect.
There's a reason for that. It's not me being evasive. Sometimes it is, but it's not usually me being evasive. It's me actually feeling out the situation. Because usually the gut reaction is the wrong reaction.
Why didn't you tell me that when I told you I was given the FURI?
Would you have listened?
Maybe.
No, you wouldn't have. Because you would have thought that I was trying to direct your life. True or false? This was a lesson you had to learn. And me willfully stepping in front of that lesson would have done more harm than good. You wanted so desperately to be out on your own and make that name for yourself, regardless of the warnings I gave you.
I would have listened if you brought it up like this.
I'm not saying that all of your decisions are wrong or inappropriate or silly or childish. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you're impulsive, like me. It's a trait, whatever. It's just that there's certain patterns in the way you tend to do things. It's either all or nothing, black or white. There is no gray area when it comes to you. Like zero. There's right and wrong. The end.
There has to be. I can't.
If not, fight me. Fight me. Like literally, that is your response.
I can't afford to have gray areas.
Is the law absolute? Let me ask you this really basic question. Or is there shades of gray?
Honestly, I don't know anymore.
And maybe I won't give you the answer to that. Maybe that's some soul searching you should do. But maybe if you took some time, the reception you got from Tripenton would have been a little smoother. Ever so slightly.
I've solved my problem with Troy Benton.
No, I'm so maybe you didn't notice, but when everybody clapped after you gave your speech,
He didn't clap.
that
I've had a discussion with Troy Benton since then.
fair enough. Something I don't know about won't pry into your own business. However, you have forever. That's what the dreaming is. Forever. It goes on and on and on. Slowing down.
Doesn't feel like I have forever.
It's because a lot of fast-paced things have been happening. Yes, people have been dying. Yes, terrible things have been happening. Yes, a war happening. However, that doesn't take away from the lessons you still have to learn. Actually, it means more than ever that you have to take your lessons more seriously. That's just not. At the end of the day, you will make your own decisions.
He's gonna lean down, and when he leans down, Valerius has seen it before. He's seen the ring, his mother's ring, on his chain, on a chain around his neck. But there's something else that's joined it, a crucifix. And as he's leaning down, he's just, whom much is given, much is expected in return. I can't be a child and expect that I deserve something
You're not.
for
Sorry, continue.
I can't be a child for thinking that I deserve something for meeting those expectations.
Maybe me using the word child was harsh.
Very.
Shut the fuck up for like 2 seconds.
I've been shut up for a long time now.
I will dictum you. Please try me.
Ugh. Oy vey.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that perhaps that came off harsh. Maybe we should. Another term.
I don't get it. I don't, like, I go into the gray world. Oh, I'm an adult. I go in here. Sit down, the adults are talking.
No, but alright. Let me explain it to you. How old do you think she did? Just give me a roundabout number. Roundabout number.
I remember reading about a she that was 800 and something years old and looked like they were barely 50.
Kind of. If you need a reference, think about D&D elves when they tell you to roll 3d6 and that's your age. It's kind of what it is. And during those like years, they have experienced things, and sometimes it comes with a bit of arrogance. Because you've seen things, you've seen like these stories play out. Kind of. It's like the game remains the same, but the players change. Same old, same old. Like, if you truly want to be able to be seen as Richard apart from Valerius, standing on your own 2 feet solidly, then start taking, I'm not going to say more responsibility, I will say take more of a open head when things are said around you. Take in the knowledge that's being given. Don't meet it with force and aggression. Your default should not be 0 to 60.
What was that?
Default is from 0 to 60. You're very easy to manipulate. The impulsiveness is there. You have the talent. You have the talent, the gifts, the swordsmanship. Come way further than I did. Way further. Seeing things that shit, like really shit, that I wouldn't even dream of at your age. Commendable, amazing, rising star of House Woodian. However, just be mindful that you still have more to learn. The learning process never stops. This is how I've lived this long. At this rate, I'm still a baby to most counts. Just throwing it out there.
I,
I don't want somebody to tell me in an offhanded conversation, by the way, Richard died. Well, you mean he died. He was doing something for the dreaming. Period. What do you mean he was doing something for the dreaming? We don't know. He rushed out. No one could stop him. Do you really want me to? Do you really want me to kill half the people in Taranar? I can do that. In a blind rage.
I don't want you to kill anybody.
Do you really want me to kick Morwen in the dick? I can do that. Don't let that be the breaking point.
He's gonna. No, I'm going to have to handle that.
You're doing good. Just don't blow your load before you've gotten through Act 1. Well, I'm done. GG, everyone.
Yeah.
You're going down a very destructive path. One that I don't want that.
So, fair enough.
I wasn't always, put it that way. Very fucking unseelie.
Fair enough. Alright. If we can talk about something else,
Fair enough.
I will ask you a question.
Sure can.
I need to figure out a way. I need to figure out a way to solve this shit with Morwen before she comes in and bites me in the ass.
Warren's a bitch. I don't know what else to tell you about that. But more to actually trying to solve the problem. You say you want to be an adult? How
How do I apologize to her without looking like a bitch? Without looking weak.
call for a truce?
Hmm?
Call for a truce. Say that you are looking for a smooth, cooperative unit between the Valiants and the Progressives, and you wish for them to work together, not against each other. Are you willing to put my ego aside, are you?
I am.
That doesn't sound weak to me. If she interprets it that way, that's on her. But what I just said is kind of taking the situation. That's kind of having a big, good conversation.
Fair enough. You know she cut me when she knighted me?
Of course you did. I heard everything she said.
Oh, you heard that.
Yeah, I don't miss a thing. I'm not as vapid as most people think I am. Most of that is show. There's some things I just choose not to verbally talk about.
And she
Some
believed
things
that.
I talk about, and certain things I just kind of take notice of. Sometimes I just start dealing with motherfuckers.
And she's more or less told me that.
She didn't forget.
Hmm?
She didn't forget.
No, this is before. This is after. She's basically told me that though she respects what the dreaming has to say about me, she has little regard or little respect for me.
And what did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Good move. You have good instincts. Show her by example. Be firm and unyielding.
Fair enough.
He's thinking you're going to respond like a child. Like, what do you mean? How dare you fight me?
I guess I will have a meeting with her.
All, all for use of proper words.
Hmm?
You have the politics, you know it. Call for a private retinue to discuss the business and affairs of the kingdom of apples.
Fair enough. A private renew, you say?
A private retinue.
Can do.
Speak your mind. Be firm. Don't let her control the conversation. She will.
Fair enough. Thank you.
He's gonna like put his arms around you. You're such a little shit. And I think that's what I like about you. Anything you want to add, Xander?
He'll just go, no, I have nothing to say.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, I will bid you gentlemen good night. I have plans this evening.
Oh, snarksy, snarksy.
And he will exit.
Before you go, Xander, I'd like to
What?
have a word with you and Kagoma about something very serious.
Hmm.
When you have the moment and the time to spare.
Sure. I will be in touch.
Don't be a stranger. Remember, training tomorrow.
All right.
He needs to end the scene because he has the button.
Hello?
Yep.
What happened?
Robert has the button. He has to come back and push the end button. Or we all have to leave. Well,
I have nothing.
I don't know.
Xander already left, so I have nothing.
Yep.
Ah, there he is.
There it is. Ready to end the scene, sir? Valerius is going to take Sir Richard out to eat.
He said his internet crapped out.
Well, all right.
Um,
This is what we're going to do. We're just going to close the scene and just like put the exit button and just tell him not to come back. It'll shut us off automatically.
okay.
Okay.
All right.